for now. I just have to remember to get rid of it. All right. Let's try this again. So we got the Invictus launch week, save the date. 14 days from now would be the 15th. So we'll get a couple of things done in one video. Be part of an unforgettable Invictus launch week. Join the celebration from May 15th to 27th as our annual military expo and free fly event returns to Area 18. The doors of the Bevic Convention Center will open to a remodeled expo hall, spotlighting an array of new ships, including the Invictus Starlancer Tac, as well as naval-inspired classics. So they're only calling out specifically the Tac, eh? Citizens are also invited to the top of the IO North Tower for all new Aegis Idris tour. Come and see firsthand why this frigate is a mainstay of the UEEN. Greycat Industrial will open the proceedings on day one with a versatile and rugged reveal. Discover the full manufacturer schedule over on Spectrum. We'll go to that in a second. We'll do that. All right. We've got Invictus launch week. Okay, we got the sneak peek here shortly. Get to that one. All right, Invictus launch week. We have the annual expo. Alongside this, we're kicking off a free fly event that grants everyone free access to download and play Star Citizen. Smiles, if you're by chance listening, your next free fly starts on the 15th. Join us in celebrating the rich naval history of the UEE and honoring the people who dedicated themselves to protect the Empire. Throughout the event, you'll have the opportunity to test fly the finest military vehicles, get first looks at the latest ships, so that's plural. So maybe we're not just getting the TAC. Rediscover beloved classics, tour an iconic Idris frigate and its spectacular vantage point over Area 18 and more. We got to save the date. What does that do? That's the same thing I just looked at. Yep, okay. Back over here. Nope, there. Citizens are also invited to the top. Oh, wait. There we go. Before seeing the Invictus. Ah. Of course, Anvil is the second to last. So we got Greycat and Aegis. Then Origin, RSI, and Argo. Interesting combination of those three. CNOU, Misk, and Mirai. That makes sense. They're very similar based. Crusader and Tumbril. That's usually always the case. Anvil, and then Drake. So the only two that have their own day separate from everyone else is Anvil and Drake. Which makes sense if we're going to get the Paladin. I wonder if there's something coming from Drake. All right. We'll restart this. We'll watch the video. Get this up on full screen. All right. So, Starlancer Tac. Very hotly anticipated ship. We got the Max with rate before 4.0 or with 4.0. I don't remember, but we've had the Max for the better part of 5-6 months. Let's see what we got here. Oh, I like that paint in the background. Oh, I like that one.
Tac is a variant of the Starlancer series. It kind of takes the Starlancer chassis and outfits it with a more offensive loadout. It's got
Sorry, we'll go back to 2160 because it wanted to do 1080.
The Starlancer Tac is a variant of the Starlancer series. It kind of takes the Starlancer chassis and outfits it with a more offensive loadout. It's got remote turrets on top. The co-pilot's got some fun little missile turrets at the rear to keep people off the back end.
Nice.
You don't have access to every single gun on it.
Oh, that's cool. 2 remote missile turrets in the back? Bro. Oh, that's cool. So we got, what do you say, two remote turrets there. Interesting that there's a Ursa in the background. He's always got to look for the little things because there's usually there's generally and sometimes a reason why there's random things like this. Why is there an Ursa in the back? Anyways.
The co-pilot's got some fun little missile turrets at the rear to keep
the pilot
people off the back end. You don't have access to every single gun on it. There's only 4 pilot-controlled guns.
Only.
You'll notice immediately from the exterior that it has these new 2 twin size 5 man turrets.
Size 5?
What makes this MISC is the shape language that was used to make this turret. It replicates the exterior of the ship, which contains round forms, welded forms,
Those
and
cannons?
chunky shapes.
Oh, I like the black paint. Give me more black paints.
Manufacturer kind of really proud of their manufacturing and they're not afraid to show it. You kind of show it. Manufacturer kind of really proud of their manufacturing and they're not afraid to show it. You kind of see all the compound forms that reveal the underlying structure, where the fuel cells are, but it's a little more refined. Paneling is a lot cleaner. It's not something like a Drake ship where everything's just completely exposed.
Wow.
I really like the MISC look. It's got this sort of darker stealth armor, so it looks really like sleek. The guys have done a really great job with the lighting on it. It's got this like really mean looking red lighting. It just looks really sick.
Does it have landing lights? Probably not.
It does not have a cargo lift, but it still has your cargo bay in the back for 96 SCU and space for holding ground vehicles.
96.
And you also have the addition of a hangar up top. There were a lot of requests for...
Oh. There's a hangar up top, eh? I think we knew that. So, snub fighter hangar up top. Still got 96 SCU in the back. You could fully crew this, and the ship isn't broken upon release. Okay.
A version that could carry a ship, so I'm glad we've managed to figure that out.
Oh, that is definitely a snub nose. So that's the Mini Fury, or the Fury, whatever it is. That is definitely a snub nose. You have to, if that's as small as I think it is, you have to be very precise. Make sure you don't break anything getting out of there.
It can accommodate 1 Fury, but if you are a good pilot, you can accommodate 2 as well.
What we've done is...
Accommodate 2 as well.
Nice.
What we've done is we've stripped out the Max's separate habitation rooms and replaced those with the hangar.
Oh.
It's not that much big, but it's compact. It has a landing pad there with really cool, small refueling parts.
We've extended the Max's
habitation
parts. It's compact. It has a landing pad there with really cool, small refueling parts.
So can you refuel out of this ship? Please say yes.
We've extended the Max's habitation kitchen area to have its own bunk room. On the lower deck, we've replaced the long cargo bridge sort of area with a troop deployment area where some soldiers can jump out of like an extending gantry.
Cool. So we're making this a versatile ship.
And the cargo bay is a small medical room.
Oh.
No other MISC ships has a medical bay, so it was a bit hard at the first to get used to it, like how the design will be. What I feel the people will notice most will be the aesthetic of it. These bright lights and those metal floors. It's a bit high-tech, but it's not like very high maintenance.
The engineering and the cockpit are the same as the Max.
And
same as the Max.
Maintenance.
The engineering and the cockpit are the same as the Max.
And in the cockpit, it's very spacious. It's accommodate pilot, co-pilot. It looks really cool because it's integrated with the bridge.
The turret room is located in the belly of the ship. At first glance, it resembles a shrine to warfare, with all the red lights around and the ammunition.
What did he say this was?
The turret seats on the left and the right.
Oh.
It looks really cool. The animations are really cool. From the hatch closing over the player, to the seat rotating and going into the turret, and the guns sliding out in preparation for battle.
Well, they staggered fire that.
The Starlancer.
So does one turret have cannons and the other turret has repeaters? Because this turret has repeaters. And this turret has cannons. Unless this is a remote turret. Hold on.
For battle. sliding out.
Nope, that is a manned turret. That is a manned turret with cannons. So again, one side has cannons, the other side has turret or repeaters. That's a choice, I guess.
Guns sliding out in preparation for battle.
The Starlancer would be for like teams of players who really like missions in a large group of like soldiers. As well as like the actual people crewing the ship and the turrets, you've got quite a lot of space for ground pounders with rifles. The cargo bay in the back can be used for like some of the smaller vehicles like the Cyclone. I think it's a really good ship for like just team play.
Okay, so that's the first ship announced. All right.
The Starlancer Tac is a variant.
All right,
of
I want to
the
go back to
Starlancer
see when they
series.
first show the
Kind of
turrets
takes
again.
the Starlancer chassis and outfits it with a more offensive loadout. It's got remote turrets on
So the remote turret on top with 2 repeaters.
top. The co-pilot's got some fun little missile turrets at the
Oh,
rear.
the co-pilot
to
has the
keep
missile
people off
turrets in the back.
end.
Okay.
You don't have access to every single gun on it. There's only 4 pilot-controlled guns.
Oddly.
You'll notice immediately from the exterior that it has these new 2 twin size 5 man.
All right. So both of these have repeaters on there. So I guess they're showcasing cannons and repeaters on the man turrets, I suppose. Look forward to getting destroyed by it daily. Yeah, Doc. I have one. I have one pledged. I have both the Max and the Tac. There was a concierge pack for both of them way back when. I have both pledged. I don't think I'm going to keep. When the Ironclad drops, that's what it is. That's why Drake has its own day. Ironclad, well, maybe not. It's speculation at this point, but maybe Drake has his own day because it's supposed to always have its own day because there's supposed to be Defense Con, which is like a mini convention during Fleet Week, which is mentioned by this person right here saying that, yeah, because last year, Defense Con, which is Drake, that's their kind of mini convention inside Fleet Week. I guess the speculation and a hope is that the Ironclad will drop. But the Ironclad, well, there's an Ironclad Assault and there's the Ironclad. Very basically the same type of context as the Starlancer Mech and the Starlancer Tac. One's combat, one's industrial. But here's hoping the Ironclad drops, because as soon as the Ironclad comes out, I'm getting rid of the Starlancer Max. I have no use for it. I'm not a MISC fan in the sense that I do not enjoy the cockpit usage at all. I don't know how much I'm going to like the Tac because it's the same exact cockpit as the Max, and it's the same thing. Anywho, I like what they're doing with the Tac. You've got 2 man turrets down here. You've got a remote turret up top. Did they say remote turret on the bottom?
Takes the Starlancer chassis and outfits it with a more offensive loadout. It's got remote turrets on top. The co-pilot's got some fun little missile turrets at the rear to keep people.
So there's just a remote turret on top and the 2 missile turrets in the back. Did the 2 side seats for the turrets from the Max make it into the cockpit? I feel like they kind of showed it. Yeah, I'm not a fan of the cockpits in the MISC. Like, we used the Tac. We used the Max a few different times during Supply or Die. But I didn't really, just not a fan of the cockpit. The field of view in that cockpit is just not good. There's too much wasted space in the front. Anyways, I digress on that. Let me the cockpit again.
And the cockpit are the same as the Max.
So you got the pilot on the left, co-pilot on the right.
And in the cockpit, it's very spacious. It's accommodate pilot, co-pilot.
Okay, so there is a seat there on the right, and there's most likely a seat opposite on the left, which tells me there's still 2. One would be for a remote turret. The other one would be for remote turret, because that's what those 2 seats do in the max. So it's like a Pontiac Aztec. Holy shit! Wow. Oh yeah. God.
It looks really cool because it's integrated with the bridge.
And then you got the man turrets in the
It's
back.
located-
Like I said, I'd like if you just took the cockpit and swapped it out for like a Constellation Taurus or Andromeda cockpit, just with the better field of view, being able to look around, it'd be so much better. Man, that's just like my biggest complaint about MISC ships in general. And Mirai being a subsidiary of MISC, and most of those cockpits are just, glass bubbles on the front. It's still a better field of view. Anyways, saw one with an Aztec and a DeLorean, seeing the Cybertruck's. That's true too. All right, well, I'm looking forward to the Tac. I have one pledged. I'll make use of it for a little while. If you just don't like it, you don't like it. I'm curious what the price increase is going to go. That being said, I have some store credit to burn, and I want this flight jacket. So anyways, so that is the Starlancer Tac video, as well as Fleet Week. So we've got 13, call it 14 days on the 15th. So middle of the month, May 15th. Hi, Stacks. Nice to meet you. Yeah, I noticed that too. Thanks for hopping in. Hope you're doing well. I noticed that too, and it was brought up in the Spectrum post that either it's an oversight. Interesting on the dates. Anyways, I'll make note of that in a second. Maybe it's an oversight and they just forgot to put the image up there, but Drake has always had their Defense Con, which is like their small mini 1-day, 2-day convention during Fleet Week. So maybe it's just an oversight. Who knows? But not giving Drake their kind of own day like they have for how long now? How many years? But anyways, but yeah, that's the Starlancer Tac video. I like what I'm looking at. I'm not a MISC fan. I don't like the cockpit. I don't know how often I'll fly it. But we got Invictus coming up in 14 days, 14 and a half days. Or 13 and a half days. Math is hard. Anywho, so yeah. Back to video games.